live streaming class. If this is your first time to join us, let me explain how it works. Today, our topic is renting a car. So, during the class, if you have a question, write your question in the comments section and I'll answer it at the end of the class. I also have some questions for you to participate and use the vocabulary that we learn in the class. So I want you to write your answers in the comments section as well. Before we get started, I want to remind you about this campaign that we have going at ABBA. We've created this hashtag, ABBA Moment, so that you can share with us a picture of you studying English. For us, the ABBA Moment is when you take time during the day to learn English. So please, take a picture and share it on all of our social media networks, and we'd love to hear from you. Okay, so our topic today is renting a car. You may travel one day to an English-speaking country and you might need a car to get around. So we're going to talk about vocabulary and some differences in vocabulary between American English and British English. And then we're going to go through all of the steps of renting a car together. So let's get started. Let's talk about some key vocabulary for renting a car. Okay? In American English, we say to rent, whereas in British English, they say to hire a car. Okay, the back part of the car where you put suitcases or other items is called the trunk in American English and the boot in British English. The fuel that goes in your car is called gasoline in American English and petrol in British English. So you go to the gasoline, to the gas station or to the petrol station to fill up your car. In order to drive a car, you need a valid driver's license in American English or driving license in the UK. Note the difference in spelling. In American English, license is spelled with an S, and in British English, it's spelled with a C. Okay, so now that we know some vocabulary, let's start to make our reservation. So what do you need first? Many car rental companies may have some regulations for you to rent a car. First, the most important, you need a valid driver's license. Second, some countries or companies may have a minimum age for you to be able to rent a car. So even though in the United States the driving age is 16, the minimum age to rent a car is actually 25. So check which country you're visiting and what the minimum age is for a car rental. Many companies may actually have a maximum mileage per day, so this puts a limit on the number of miles or kilometers you can drive the car in one day. And most companies will require you to return the car with a full tank. So you have to go to the gas station or the petrol station to fill up your car before you turn it back in to the company. Alright, so you need to decide what kind of car do you want. This may depend on how many people are traveling. So if you're a family, you might want a sedan, which is a 4-door vehicle. Or if you're a smaller group, 1 or 2 people, you might want a compact car, which is a smaller car, like a smart car, a 2-door vehicle. If you're going to the mountains, you might want to get an SUV, which stands for Sports Utility Vehicle. Or for a big group, you may want a van where you can fit 8 to 10 people, maybe even more. And if you want to travel in luxury, you may want to rent a luxury vehicle like a BMW, a Porsche, a Mustang, something like that. Okay, it's important to know the features of the car that you've rented. So, is it manual or automatic? Does it take diesel or gasoline? And is there air conditioning or heating? This is important depending on the season that you're traveling in. Okay, so how long are you renting the car for? A short-term rental would be a few days, maybe 1 week. A long-term rental is 1 month, several weeks, something like that. Okay, some common questions to ask before you rent the car is the insurance included? Most companies will require you to purchase insurance for your car, but it may be included in the price or it may be separate. So it's important to ask. Excuse me. How much is the deposit? Many companies will require you to pay upfront a percentage of the price in order to reserve the car. So how much is the deposit? 10%, $100, how much is the deposit? Okay, and is there a discount? Depending on the time of year or the day of the week that you rent a car, there may be some special offers or a discount that the rental company will offer you. All right, it's also important to know where the location of the car that you're renting. So where can I pick up the car? Many times it's common to pick up the car at the airport, or there are other locations around town you may need to go. And where can I turn in the car? Is it the same location, or can I turn the car in another city? This depends on the company and the kind of rental that you have. Okay, and last but not least, don't forget that in the US, we drive on the right side of the road, and in the UK, they drive on the left side. So make sure you know which side of the road you have to drive on if you rent a car. So when you've made all of these decisions, you decide what kind of car, what features, how long, then you sign the rental agreement, and I hope you enjoy the ride. Enjoy the ride is an expression which means to have a good time, to enjoy yourself. Okay, now I want to know about your experience renting a car. So answer these questions in the comments section. First question, when was the last time that you rented a car? Where was it? And what kind of car did you rent? Do you prefer a manual or an automatic? Which is more common in your country? In the United States, it's more common to drive an automatic car, but what about you in your country? Have you ever had a bad experience renting a car? Why was it a bad experience? What happened? And finally, describe your dream car.